If you've been following me for years, you already know this workbench vise. I had installed it on my homemade workbench, which I don't have anymore. So now I want to install it here on this workbench.
Sergio, hold on.
What?
Do you remember the...
Oh, right. On my other channel, the one with no commentary, I put something in this corner of the bench, and here there's a hole needed for that thing I installed. This hole is necessary to fit the dust port of my jigsaw, which I use here as a table jigsaw. That acrylic base can also be seen on my commentary free channel. I'll leave you the links in the description. And if I put the workbench vise here, it'll be tricky to hold the table jigsaw with the clamp. But I was thinking that in the other corner.
Sergio, no. There's metal in the way there. You're going to make it complicated. I can already see it.
Don't worry, I've got tools.
Let's see.
Look, good quality metal drill bits, cobalt ones. Look at this massive 15.5mm metal drill bit. A conical reamer drill bit. And check out this beauty. Look at this step drill bit for metal.
I see you're already convinced. All right then, let's head over to the other corner of the workbench and explain the main problem.
Okay, the workbench vise will go against this edge of the board. And the main problem is that I have a metal profile that I'll need to drill through. A profile that I didn't have in the other spot. So first I'm going to drill with the 4mm cobalt drill bit. Then, I'll try to open up the holes with this 15.5mm metal drill bit, freehand, with a cordless drill, which, as you'll see, will take a lot of work.
Of course.
Yes, but we'll also see that with the step drill bit, it's easier to enlarge the holes. Okay, I could put it here. There's no metal profile underneath here. And I'd only have to screw on the mounting plate. But it'll be more interesting to put it here. Take out all the different metal drill bits and see how they perform.
Exactly. Let's make a video worth watching.
I don't know how to take that, but I like it when you get fired up. The first problem is marking where to drill the holes for the guides and for the screw. Okay, I tipped the bench over. If I place the plate against this metal sheet, the vise won't be able to open very much, so I'll lift it up onto it. I measure the distance from the edge of the board and mark where the holes go on the metal profile with a pencil.
That looks a bit like you're improvising.
You and I both know how this ends.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it. I'm not convinced.
I place the plate on the other side to mark the holes on this side of the metal profile too. Here, I try to keep the plate level while making the marks. Now, before drilling the holes in the metal, I remove the wooden board from the workbench. With the 4mm cobalt drill bit, I make an initial hole. And I'll enlarge them with the step drill bit. A bit of cutting oil. And I'm surprised at how well it cuts through the metal. But I have a problem. The chuck bumps into this metal sheet, so I'm going to finish the hole with the straight 15.5mm drill bit. But near the end it binds, and I have to reverse the drill to free it. Also, when it binds, it creates a lot of leverage. And if I'm not holding the drill firmly, it twists, and I could hurt my wrist. I have to wiggle it a bit to finish the hole. I decided to try drilling straight with the 15.5mm drill bit on top of the 4mm hole. Bad idea. Way too much work. If I did all of them like this, I'd end up with destroyed arms. It's best to enlarge the holes first with the step drill bit. Watch now how the drill wants to spin. If I'm not careful, it could twist my wrist. I guess this big drill bit is really meant for a drill press rather than using it freehand. I put the vise in place and see that one of the guide rods presses there. I'm going to push with the drill bit against the edge of the holes to try to elongate them. And this is easier than I expected. Now it seems to fit well. I clean off the metal shavings as best I can. And now, look at the difference between a conical reamer drill bit and the step drill bit. I'm going to use the reamer bit to clean the burr on the entry of the holes. I don't think that's what this tool is for, but it works. With the drill at a slight angle so the chuck doesn't hit. That's enough. No more burrs that could poke my fingers. On the inside, I use the flat file, but gently, just to knock down the burrs a bit, making sure I don't file the paint. And now the guides slide in without binding. I can now assemble the tabletop. Moving on, this is the mounting plate, with 3 holes in the front, and also in the back. And this is the nut where the screw goes. It locks in place with some locking tabs. This magnet keeps the nut from slipping out of place. That's where the plate will go. I have to drill there in the holes, which means drilling through the metal sheet underneath too. And on this side, I'm going to put this thin metal sheet to level the mounting plate.
But if that sheet later...
Quiet, quiet. On this channel, everything gets shown.
I see that, yeah.
I screw it in. And with the workbench back upright, this is really stiff. And the workbench vise jaw doesn't move parallel to the edge of the bench. It could be that the plate ended up slightly crooked. I removed all the screws from the plate. I hold it by hand and tighten the workbench vise against the bench, so it stays in place just from the pressure. Let's see if it sits more level. I hope that makes it settle into the best position on its own. That looks perfect. Notice that this hole in the plate is lower than the one I drilled in the wood. And this other one was too. You can see a hole in the wood because I did a test to see if the screw would go in at an angle. So, I put the screw in, and I put this one in too. This time I didn't make pilot holes. I drive them in angled downward. And I hope that as they go in, they'll make their own path, shifting the wood toward the old hole above. Notice that I removed the metal sheet I'd put in to level it. I think in the end it was making things worse. And this one is slightly off, but I push the screw upward into the hole that's there. And now, perfect. This moves much smoother. Luckily. I use lubricant to clean the guides and the screw. Another coat of lubricant. And now, I have the workbench ready to mount the workbench vise. Here we go. I can turn the vise with just one finger. Now it moves parallel and smoothly. And it clamps down nice and strong. Ideally, I'd drill 3 holes in a wood block and put it here, so it sits flush with the edge of the bench's board, because the vise only presses on the top part, and I can already see it'll start to tilt at the bottom. I could also swap the vise jaw for a solid wood one, although this MDF one clamps really well, but I'd take the chance to make it a bit longer so it reaches the corner of the board. Thanks for watching the video, and if you liked it and you like my videos, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell.
What a fantastic project. I love the video. Bye-bye.